Welcome, everyone, to the Med Spa Accelerator Podcast, brought to you by Everable Marketing, the go-to resource so you can get the latest hacks and best practices to market and grow a profitable medical aesthetics practice. My name is Maripili, and I am obsessed with all things business, marketing, operations, numbers, and helping you grow and take your med spa to the next level. This is the Med Spa Accelerator Podcast, Season 2.
All right, we're pretty much at the end of the sales series here, and we're pretty much already
at the end of the year.
At the end of the year.
Oh my gosh. 2023.
Wow.
Here we go.
I know, it's so crazy. I feel like 2022 just started, you know?
I know.
We're already at the end here, but hopefully you have been enjoying this series on sales. Hopefully you've had some really great sales opportunities, yes. And you've been able to leverage the information that we've been sharing here towards your advantage to really help your patients have the transformation that they've been searching for.
And that you're reaching your business goals.
Yes. So today we're going to be talking about the final thing, which is upselling, downselling, cross-selling, how to get the most out of your practice.
And we're going to be talking about three main things here, right? Like, we want you to understand your business as a whole. We want you to ask the right questions and listen. And then we also just want to make sure that you are setting yourself up for success. Mm-hmm. But before we do that, if you've been liking these episodes, if you've been liking this like mini series that we've been doing, then please let us know. Go into your favorite podcast platform and scroll down, give us a review, give us those 5 stars. We would love to hear from you. We put a lot into it. I know it's the end of the year, so I'm getting a little like, I'm excited for next year and everything else that we have for you guys, but we definitely want to hear from you. And if you like video content, then make sure to check out our YouTube channel, where we have a lot more videos, a lot more content, and
give us a thumbs up.
Give us a thumbs up, click that notification bell, subscribe, and let us know your questions.
Yes. And don't forget to join the Facebook group to join a community of people just like you, all trying to grow their business.
Yes.
So request access using the link below, and we'll get you accepted right away.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So let's get into it.
Okay. So first, let's go into what is upselling, cross-selling, and downselling.
Yeah, so I'll just do a brief explanation of what this potentially is, right? So let's say somebody's coming in for service A, right? Well, once they're there, an upsell is potentially giving them more of service A, right? A downsell is like, hey, maybe you can't afford service A, so we have this kind of like, let's just say like a mini version, right? Like a mini version of service A that isn't as expensive, right? Or maybe it's like an alternative to service A that is a little bit more affordable, but still accomplishes the same thing, or just takes maybe a little bit longer for it to fulfill on whatever it is that they wanted. And then cross-selling is just something that, let's just say, hey, here's service A, but if you combine that with service B, you're going to get the ultimate results. And, you know, it's just going to be, it's a complementary service to what they originally came in for that will ultimately get them to their goal faster, or just get them a result, you know, that a better result ultimately in conjunction with each other. So anyway, super brief explanation right there. Obviously, yes. There's more to it, right? Yes. But I think just to kind of keep it simple, that's all you need to know. More of, less of, and something that you can combine.
And so that is one of the best ways to make more revenue and just elongate that customer lifetime value. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, when we start talking about this with clients, they ask us a lot of questions, such as like, how can I apply this to my business? What if I only have one product or one service to sell? What if my services don't overlap or complement each other? And how can I do this without sounding salesy? And so that is what we're going to go into today. So in the first point that we want want to talk about is how can you understand your business as a whole?
At the end of the day, it's like really understanding every service that you offer, and not just you, because you might already know.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I already know.
My services.
Yeah, but your staff, because they're the ones that are at the forefront, and them having a thorough understanding of everything that you offer and what are the benefits, the features of every single service. That is going to be super important. But then also understanding your ideal customer and the transformation that they would want, I would say. And so being able to kind of, with that, getting a better understanding of who they are, what they want to accomplish, then with that, you can ultimately look at, okay, here are the services that I have, and then these are the services that I can offer them to kind of help them accomplish whatever goal that they might have. Yeah.
Yes, it's kind of like having like a little bit of a toolkit.
Yeah.
And while you're having that conversation with them of like, this is what I need, then you're looking into your toolkit and you're like, oh, okay, I have this, this, and this, so you can get your result.
Yeah, definitely. And so I think one of the things too, and this is kind of common in the marketing space, it's kind of called a value ladder or a service ladder, right?
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, and for example, I feel like that the dental space is very unique in doing this, because it's, hey, I mean, and I guess a lot of you would do it. It's like, hey, get your initial consultation, right? Or come in for a free teeth whitening, or come in for a free exam, or something along those lines. And ultimately, that is just the initial thing, right? Like you're coming in, let's say $99, right? Okay, but obviously now like once you come in, then there's all these additional things that they could potentially offer you to kind of help you solve your problem, right? Oh, they do initial exam. They find that you might have a cavity, you might be missing a tooth, you might have whatever issue that you might have. And then now they have additional services, part of the value ladder, right? Mm-hmm. That they can ultimately offer you so that they can obviously solve the problem that you have. But at the end of the day too, it's also more service, more revenue, right? And so all of that's coming in. And I'll give another quick example, maybe, as just kind of not in the medical industry, like, and you go to get an oil change, and then, oh, hey, well, you're here. Would you like for us to check your air filter? Well, yeah, sure. Why not? I'm already here. I'm waiting, And then, oh yeah, they quick, oh sir, it looks kind of dirty. Like, would you actually like to get this changed? It's also only an additional $50 or $100, whatever. Yeah, sure, why not? I'm already here, And then so like, okay, that was a cross sell, right?
Yeah, a really good one.
Yeah, and honestly, when it comes to these cross sells and upsells, it's as simple as just like, yeah, obviously it's logical. It's logical.
It has to be a no-brainer.
Yeah,
like this makes sense.
It's logical for them to ask me if they want me to check it, or if they want to have this or that. And I think that in itself just makes it a very smooth transition where it doesn't sound salesy. It's just, oh yeah, of course, it makes sense that they would ask me that, because if I can combine these two things, then ultimately my car is going to last longer. In the case of beauty, right, or cosmetics, it's like, oh yeah, it makes sense for me to get these two services together, because I'm going to get the best result if I do both of those things.
Yeah. And whether you have one service or a multitude of services, you can still do this in a way that makes sense.
Yeah. And so I think a lot of the times, specifically when you're in there in the consultation, it's all about asking the right questions and listening.
I think that is huge, because yes, you might have already a process, a sales process, a consultation process, but if you're not listening to what your customer is saying, you might actually miss a lot. Mm-hmm. And I actually like doing this when I go to different places, mm-hmm. just to see, because I'm in the industry, I like to see how they react. Sure. So whenever I go to anywhere, like I got my haircut, or the facial that you got me for my birthday, mm-hmm. like I do let them know, like, oh yeah, like I have some acne marks that I don't really like. Mm-hmm. And I just wait. I kind of see what is it that they do. And they never... Really, I've never had this happen to me where they're like, oh, we actually have this other service that can help with that. I had to pull it out of them. I was like, well, I saw you have the HydraFacial there. I saw you have the microneedling machine there. Like, what about those? Yeah,
and I cringe when I hear this, and it's happening to me. Like, one of the experiences that I had was I was at the dentist, and I told them like, oh, and it's annoying because they obviously ask you this in these intake forms. Oh my god! And they're like, oh, is there anything you would like for the doctor to know? Oh yeah, well I've had some pain in the back, one of my back tooth. And well, sure thing. The doctor comes, he kind of does his initial consultation, yada yada, does his thing. At no point did he ask me, oh, hey, my staff did mention that you had some pain. Would you like for me to take care of that for you? Right? Or you have a cavity. Hey, would you like to take care of that today? Mm-hmm. At no point whatsoever. And I don't know if he just forgot. Maybe the staff didn't tell him or anything.
Maybe he didn't even read the form before.
Yeah, he didn't read the form. And I'm just like, why are you making me fill it out in the first place? Yeah, I get so annoyed with that. Yeah. But it's like, hey, man, like those are just missed opportunities.
Yes, exactly. So definitely asking the right questions is huge. Do have that consultation form at the beginning, but listen and read, because there might be more opportunities than you think while you're having this conversation. And, you know, it's just all about serving, right? Like serve, and you're going to get the most out of that relationship, connection, and of course, business.
At the end of the day, like being able to hear what that person is saying, like she's saying, oh yeah, I've never been, you know, I do have some acne scars here that, you know, I've had for a very long time. I just don't really feel comfortable. Oh yeah. We definitely got something for that. We can definitely discuss more about it if you like, you know, after we finish your facial or in the beginning of before they start the facial.
Or even during.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're there, they're sitting, they're lying down there with you, sitting with you, etc., doing this treatment. I mean, you guys got to talk about something.
Yes, exactly. Well, yeah. I was going to say that it was like a relaxing experience. Yeah, it was. So it wasn't like one where you were talking.
Depends the service, you know, what service is going on, right?
Yeah. But that is definitely huge. And it kind of like goes along with everything else, right? Like as you're listening, have a conversation about it. Like, oh yeah, actually a lot of our patients do come in, or a lot of our clients come in for acne scars, and we have a series of treatments that can help you resolve that. Not only is she giving me social proof because other people are doing it and it works, but it would be already upselling me and cross-selling me into different services to get my accomplished goal.
Yeah, so I mean, super important. You can use examples, you can use storytelling, but obviously, you know, let them know that, hey, it's okay. I totally understand. You know, and we have a solution for that. We're going to take care of you today. You know?
Yes. And then next to that too is don't assume that they know all of your services, or that they know what is your special of the month, or that they know exactly that you have a solution to something that they don't even know it's that actual problem that can be solved. So having those conversations and asking the right questions can bring in something else. And storytelling is huge. If you are telling somebody like, oh yeah, actually like a lot of our patients, like they love that after they do certain treatment, like their jeans fit better. Yeah. Then you already,
you know, and then I'm sorry, going back to the whole, I just got a thought, but I like going back to the whole, like, don't assume things. Like maybe people are not even aware that they have this issue. And so don't assume that they already know. And so I think one of the quick tactics that can easily be implemented, you can ask them like, oh, I'm noticing that you have like these little pores here. Like, did you have some acne scars when you were like, did you have a lot of acne when you were younger?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I hate, you know, this, that. Oh yeah. And I feel really uncomfortable. I really don't like it. Oh, well, don't worry about it. Look, we have, you know.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. As simple as that. I mean, come on. She was right near to my face. Yeah. She saw them, right? I also told her that it was my 32nd birthday and that I was aware that I was getting a little bit more wrinkles here and there.
Yeah.
Nothing. I gave her so many opportunities, man.
Oh my gosh. So upsetting. So upsetting.
Please don't make those mistakes. Yes. Just have a conversation. You don't have to be pointing out all of their mistakes or whatever, right? But you can have an honest human conversation with somebody and it will just flow.
To finish this point off, ask the right questions. Listen, but don't just listen. Do something about it, right? Yes, make recommendations and make sure to educate along with it. And so that I think will set you up for the best results possible. Point number 3, well, setting up yourself for success, right? So what are some of the things that people can do to set themselves up for success.
Okay, so one of the simplest things is just making bundles, right? So if you have several services that can complement each other, or even if it's just one, but you can add on to it, then having a bundle and presenting that as an opportunity is the easiest way to go about it.
And honestly, it could just be as simple as they're maybe at the checkout. Or I mean, obviously there's a ton of ways this can be done, but an easy one is like they're at the checkout. Hey, what did you think about the service today? Oh my God, yes, I loved it. Great. Well, hey, if you really did, okay, great. Well, just letting you know, we also have some membership programs that will allow you to get the same treatment at a 10% discount, a monthly recurring. It's only $99 a month. Is that something you'd be interested in? Yeah. And I think Billy and I have shared this experience, like this story several times now on episodes, but we both went to go do a couples massage a few years ago. We left we finished the treatment and we were ecstatic. Like, oh my God, I feel so good. So we were so relaxed. And our wallet was pretty relaxed too. And so honestly, like if that person would have told us, hey, we have these membership programs. Would you guys like to do them and get these, massages every single week? We would have said yes.
Every single week.
Yeah, I don't know. Sure, why not?
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's actually a great way to also do a quick transition. Like, oh, how did you like your service? Yeah, it went great. Oh, wouldn't it be nice to do it every month?
Yeah. You think it's something you'd want to do every month? Yes. Hell yeah. Well, great. We have these membership programs you'd find really beneficial. Obviously, I think it's really good that you're doing this once a month because it's going to help you relieve your stress. Your mood's going to be a lot better. And you're like, yeah, I feel a lot better right now. I'm sold. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're planning to come back, and the membership just makes sense because you're saving money.
And all these things, like it starts with just asking simple questions. If you've noticed, oh, what did you think about your treatment today? Oh, how did you feel?
Wouldn't it be nice to do this more often?
Would you be interested? Well, we have some membership programs. Is that something you'd be interested in? Like, it doesn't have to be a super salesy conversation. Like it can be very simple
and very matter of fact, right?
Yeah.
It can also be around okay, well, we're checking you out and it's going to be this much. However, if you join our membership today, you're actually going to be saving 20%.
Like even right before they check out, it's like, hey guys, well, it's actually me $150 today. But actually, I want to let you know about this little promotion we have going on in regards to our membership programs. If you guys really enjoyed it and it's something you like to do, I can sign you guys up right now. And instead of paying $150 today, it's only $100, and then it'll just be $100. You can do up to 2 massages a month. Okay, yeah.
I'm saving $50 and I'm coming back. Yes, sign me up.
Pricing, this kind of leads into, I guess, our next point, which is pricing quotes and being able to provide options and designing strategic packages. This goes back down to what I like to do in regards to selling the transformation and then creating a package, right? Or having some kind of roadmap. And so being able to have a discussion with people and really being able to ask them, hey, so if I could wave a magic wand and get you the result that you'd want, what would that be? And so really listening and kind of hearing them out and saying like, hey, yeah, maybe, yes, I would like to look 10 years younger. I would like to, drop X amount of pounds. I would like to, maybe do this with my eyebrows or with my lips or whatever it is that might be with my neck. Okay. It sounds great. Well, here's a potential, obviously you're listening and then you are already thinking of what could be a really great roadmap for this person, right? And people understand that, yeah, obviously, I'm 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, whatever it might be, right? And at the end of the day, I know that it's going to take a while for me to get ultimately the results that I want, right? If I want to look 10 years younger, well, then maybe I got to put in a year's work, right? To actually get that 10x return, right? And so that being said, well, hey, look, I think, going back to everything that you'd want to accomplish, I think step one would essentially be maybe quick wins would be some Botox and some derma fillers, right? Or maybe a quick win, we can get you started with some facial. And then, I think step 2, 30 days from then, you can come back. We can start you on a cool sculpting treatment. And then after 90 days, we could potentially do another one as well. But in addition, we can actually start it. You just paint a roadmap, design a roadmap for them. And you'd be surprised how many people would actually, I mean, one, they find a lot of value in that because not everybody's doing that. Like when they design
you become like a strategist for them.
A consultant, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know, and that's ultimately what it is. Like you're a beauty consultant. You're actually, and that's why it's called a consultation, right? Actually consult them and give them the best roadmap that you could ultimately present based off the services that you have. And so that is a ton of upselling, a ton of cross-selling, right? That you are ultimately doing there. And that in itself, I think, paints this picture, paints this roadmap, and people like to know, okay, what's next? What's the next thing? Okay. And even if maybe, you know, and that's even something that you can even, I mean, there's a lot of value to that. I think ultimately that's something that you could even sell, because it's like, hey, even if you want to go do this somewhere else, you definitely can, but you already gave them all this education, all this value, that they're going to feel like that reciprocity is there, and they're going to want to do that with you. So I think
they're already trusting you too as a professional.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, the other thing about like pricing structure is, and I like to give this example of like the movies, right? When you go to the movies and you're going there and asking for your popcorn and your soda, you get maybe like a medium-sized soda, and then they're like, well, would you want to make it a large for 50 cents more? And it's just like a matter of fact, obvious, nonchalant type of question, because it makes sense. Like, yes, give me the extra 10 liters of soda,
sugar
for 50 extra cents, right?
No judgment.
And people will actually rationalize it. Yes, it totally makes sense. I can never drink that much soda, but I can share it with somebody, or it's just 50 cents more. Why not, right? Like, I don't have to get up again for another one, whatever the case might be. And you can do the same, replicate the same inside your business as you are creating this pricing structure. So if you want to sell more of a certain package, you just have to price them accordingly. So say that you have 3 and you want to sell more of your medium package. So then the first package and your medium package have to be really close in price, you know, where it's like maybe $100 and then $150. So for 50 more, you get all of this more, right? Yeah. Or if you want to sell more of your bigger package, then the medium and the large have to be really close to each other.
For sure.
So it makes sense, right? You just keep upgrading them.
For sure. That's super great. And I think that leads into our one of our other points, which is making sure that your staff is trained to ask these questions. I mean, at the end of the day, your staff are the ones that are going to be at the forefront. And just like this, you know, movie theater employee that all they had to do was ask, oh, would you like to make it a large for an extra 50 cents? Your staff just good questions. You know, like, it doesn't have to be super complicated. Simple questions. Would you want to do this? It's the XYZ.
And
yes or no.
They probably do it so matter of factly because it's something that they have to ask to every single one of them. Yeah. And that's another thing. Like,
make it a thing. Yeah, make it a thing. Make it mandatory. Make it part of the training. It's just asking these simple questions. And like, at the end of the day, you have to make it easy for your staff, right? Don't let them try to figure out which questions they should ask. You give them the questions. You write them down. You give it to them. Hey, here are all the questions I need to ask when you're doing this service. Or when the person comes in, these are the questions you ask. If they say this, then you say that. You know what I mean? Like choreography. We've talked about this in the previous episodes. This is what that is all about. Yes. So make sure, it's one of our last things is make sure you design your spaces with intention, right? So you obviously want to have videos, like while they're in the consultation room, you can have videos, you can have brochures, you can have banners of different services. So when they're there, hey, I'm here for a facial, but what's this thing about getting my fat, taken off me? Yeah. Or whatever it is, right? Yeah. Okay. That sounds kind of cool. Like, I would love to learn more about that. And then they ask you, that's a cross sell right there, right? Yeah. So yeah, always end, last point, call people to action and always end with a question. And so at the end of the day, again, like I've mentioned before, don't be afraid to ask the simple questions that will give you exponential results. Yeah.
It's not only about telling them about the membership or telling them about this other service, but it's calling them to action. Would you want to set up an appointment? Would you want to start today? Yeah. Call them to quick action. Let's do it right now. So please do leave us a comment below.
Leave us a comment.
I should ask a question,
Yeah.
right?
So would you like to join our Facebook group so that you can ultimately get all your questions answered in regards to growing your business? You know what I mean? Click the link below. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Hopefully you found this one insightful, and gosh, happy holidays. Happy New Year's. We're super excited for the next year and what we have going on. If you've been liking these series, please leave us a comment. Let us know. And man, enjoy the season, and we'll see you all. Yeah, we'll see you all next time.
Year.
Bye-bye.
Bye.